Hey, guys, welcome to another replay analysis with our buddies that we've had a couple times with already before. We have Zolgia, the gold Zerg player, with his best bud in the whole world, the Master Zerg Champagne. These guys are back at it again. I don't know what this game is about. I was just asked to analyze, so let's figure it out. Historically, Zogger always falls behind Champagne in the macro cycles. Every game. We'll see if Zogger can fix it this time around. Production. Zogger 3. Champagne 2. Oh my god. Zogger, you're actually 1 second ahead of Champagne right now. You're tied with him on drones as well. Oh my god. You're doing great. You're doing fantastic. Keep it up. How long will you keep this up for? Oh my god, you're ahead still. You're actually 1 second ahead of his drones again. What the fuck is happening? Zogger! I'm impressed. Color me impressed right now, Zogger. You guys are both expanding to the same base. Okay. And Zogger is a little bit late. Champagne's a little bit early. So now Zogger is now gonna get fucked here. You guys are both driving a car at a tunnel that can only fit one car, and you guys are both bumping each other's. It's like that scene in Bad Boys with Martin Lawrence driving the car and Will Smith yelling at him. They're trying to get the French guy. You know what I'm talking about. Anyone who's my age or older than me knows what I'm talking about. You got to go faster, Zogger. You're not going fast enough. Oh, now you both are really polite. You both are like, you know what? You take it. No, you take it. Okay, well, I guess if Champagne's a super nice guy, he'll just let you have it. That's fine. But good job making drones and stuff. I'm proud of you. So far, your build has not been bad. Talladega Nights? No, it's fucking Rush Hour. Oh, French Chicken. Well, I mean, that's a different movie. Sure. Okay, that's a different movie. But it's not what I was referencing. It's the first Bad Boys movie. That was like in the 90s. Like early 90s. Like 92 or something. Or like, no, later than that. Like 95, probably. I don't remember. But it was 90s for sure. I know Rush Hour as well. I wish they still made movies like Rush Hour. Rush Hour is fucking funny, dude. If you guys haven't seen Rush Hour, you should watch that movie. Hopefully in the next like 10 years, people relax more as a whole culture and we can go back to having movies like Rush Hour. And everyone's not going to get super upset about it. Alright. Back to the game. Zogger. You are making a Bane Nest. What is happening right now? Are you guys switching accounts? No, you're both going Bane Nest. For a second, I was like, is Champagne playing... is Champagne playing Zogger and is Zogger playing Champagne? Because you guys look like you're reversed right now. You don't ever go Banes. Or Zergling Speed. Okay, Zogger trying it and something new. You're going for 3-base Speedling, Baneling. Okay. Now, keep in mind, you guys are both doing this. So this is a little scary. The reason why it's a little scary is because you guys are now going to have a harder time dealing with 2 Terrans at once unless you're really whatever it's called. Unless you guys are really assertive about watching each other's backs, one of you might have a bad day right now. Now, one of them is going Mass Reapers. You can tell because all of these Reapers are from a guy named Oracle. And the other guy, you don't know what he's doing yet. And he is going Blue Film Hellions. And this is something you need to be worried about. If you guys both don't work together and one of these guys has a fuckload of Hellions, Hellions beat Zerglings. So there's only one of 2 ways you guys could get around this. One of you needed to either go for a Roach Warren or you guys need more queens. You could either both make queens or one of you can make queens. But you guys need more fucking queens. So if I don't see more queens being made, you guys are playing a risky game here. Lings are good, but it's also counterable. And you guys are not dealing with the counter as of yet. And also, you're actually getting fucked up pretty hard. Okay, I'm going to go back and watch your micro, specifically. I want to see your guys' micro during this whole process. Okay, so the first time he attacks you with Reapers, that's the first time, right? Yeah, this is the first time he shows up with Reapers. He already has 3. You can already guarantee this is like 3 Rax Reaper. This is not 1 Rax. Too many Reapers too fast. I think Champagne probably knows this. Zogger, if you don't know this, that's a thing. The only way you could make 3 Reapers against Zerg, if it was 1 Rax, would be by the time the 3rd Reaper showed up, Zergling speed would already be done. As you can see, it's not even close to being done right now. So, definitely more than 1 Rax. Okay? Now, going further, Champagne's micro so far, not bad. You're saving your drones. You're distracting with your Lings a little bit. You're zoning with your Queen a little bit. Champagne, A+. The only thing you could do better, Champagne, seriously, that was good defense, okay? There's only one thing you could do better. The second you know a Terran player is going for Reapers, abuse 2 things. Vision and creep. If you abuse those things... Also, let me get rid of this microphone really fast. I don't need that anymore. I was coaching earlier and I forgot that it was still in my face until I just looked at it. And I'm like, oh, I got double mics in my face. I kind of want to get rid of one of them. It's too much. Ah, much easier. So now, Champagne. You should do this right now, okay? Any Zerg out there, this works so fucking good in 1v1 as well if you fight someone who goes Mass Reapers. This Overlord vision should go like right there. And why should it go right there? Because it shows you where the Reapers are in this entire vicinity in front of your creep. And when Reapers go too far back, you make a creep tumor. Don't put it on the edge of your creep because you want to be able to defend it. You want to be able to guard it. Put it a little bit further in, like that. There would be a little greedy but acceptable. I would accept that. That would be perfect. That would be really defensive and okay. Back here, we're getting to the point now where it's maybe like not so good anymore. Like going back here is probably pretty shitty at this point because you're going to get barely any creep spread. The point is you want your creep to always spread further and further and further and further against Reapers because you know what owns Reapers? Zerglings with speed on creep. You completely counter them if you do that. It's so easy to kill Reapers with creep on your side. So you should actually, in my opinion, because you're the front guy and you're also now dealing with 3x Reaper, not injecting your base. Instead, you should use the extra money that you have from not injecting by making another queen, maybe another 2 queens, and then going for a creep tumor like right there and a creep tumor right there. So you can make your queens more mobile. You can also spread your creep forward. And if you had an Overlord like right here, you would see the Reapers are way the fuck back here right now. And there'd be no way, he would not even be threatening your creep tumor. He wouldn't even be threatening it right now. And you could put your Lings like right here and your queen like right there in front of it. So if he does come to threaten it, you shove him back, and you don't have to guess because your Overlord's right there. So you can see if he's going to threaten or not. You can see when he moves forward. So if he doesn't move forward, you don't move forward, and you just let your creep spread. And if the next time he attacks you with the Hellions, if your creep is already like out to here, that's so fucking good. That's all this extra the extra momentum on your side with Speedlings chasing him down. It's so important to do that. Creep tumors wreck Reapers. And you injected, and you injected. So you're making it easier for him to harass you now. Okay. And then all things considered, I do think you should have pulled another queen forward. Because again, that's 3 Rax Reaper. 3 Rax Reaper is liable to kill a fucking queen if you don't pull your other queen forward to help it. 100%. Like, 1 queen is not going to be 3 Rax Reaper if your Lings are always going to run away. And your Lings are going to run away because you don't have speed yet, which is correct. Your Lings should... the way you microed it the first time was correct the way you did that, where you're like going in and out, being annoying, backing up, going forward, backing up, trying to save some of the damage on the queen, letting the Lings take some damage while the queen pokes the Reaper. That was correct the way you did that, okay? I liked it. But you didn't reinforce that queen at all with creep or with a second queen, so it just got shit on. And now it compromised all your drones before your speed's done. And now that's a problem for you. Now, at the same time, again, you guys are both going Lings. So now, you again, this is scary for you because these are going to be Blue Flame Hellions here pretty soon. In 1 second. And they're also supported by a bunch of Reapers. You guys have to work together like crazy efficient here to make this work. You guys need to be flanking and surrounding, and it's going to be hard as well because you guys also don't have creep. So, not the best setup for you. Florencio, thank you very much for the raid, dude. What up, guys? Welcome to the stream. Doing a replay analysis right now, but welcome, everybody. So, this is a moment where I would just say it would be easier if one of you went for a Roach Warren and you just made like 5 roaches. Yeah. If you had like 5 or 6 roaches, A-moving, legit A-moving towards this, you would push all that back and it wouldn't even be a problem. It would be so easy. Like, roaches can't, or sorry, Reaper Hellion can't do really much to roaches. Nerdface, much love, dude. Appreciate the 4-month resub. Welcome. Welcome back. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so you're backing up, Champagne, and now Zogger is grouping up on the right side. And now here's a moment, right, where only one of you is engaging versus 2 of them. Not ideal. And by the time, like, half of Champagne's Zerglings are dead, Zogger's Zerglings arrive. And you guys are never fighting them on creep because you don't have creep. And the last thing you want to ever do is run off creep with Zerglings chasing shit like this. The correct idea of what you want to do is, again, I'm dead serious when I say this. Spread your creep tumor, have vision. Spread your creep tumor, like move your overlord. So your overlord's here, right? What if your creep's here now too? Put your overlord right there. Make another overlord go right there. Put another overlord like right there because you have a base here. So put another overlord like right there. Just spot where they're coming from and spread creep as aggressively as possible when they're not there. And if you're not going to make roaches for either one of you, have a line of queens push the creep forward. If you had like 5 queens together pushing creep right now, you could easily transfuse each other. And you could make not even like 10 creep timbers, just like 1 or 2 creep timbers, like maybe like 1 there and like 1 over here. So you could push it really fast. And like once the creep timber that gets up here goes to the left up this way, and then the creep timber on the right side could just go through the middle up here and go to the right. And then you could fork it off again where you have like, now the creep timber could go this way, and another one could fork off and go this way. You need creep. Because the more you get creep, the easier this is to literally kill it. So a Zergling is slightly faster than a Hellion. Slightly. Less than 1 move speed faster than a Hellion. It's like 0.75 or some shit like that. Or like 0.6. It's not too much faster. A Zergling is also a little bit faster than a Reaper. It's like 0.5 or sorry, like 1 point. It's almost like 1.5. It's like 1.3. So they're like, Lings will run down Reapers a little bit better than the run down Hellions, but either way, they're not going to run either one of them down too efficiently. Hellions can stop periodically off creep and roast you and then run away. Reapers can run away while throwing grenades behind them and then bounce your Lings around and run away. If you get creep though, look at a fucking speedling on creep. So your move speed, again, we're basing this off of 6.58, right? You're not even 1 move speed faster than a Hellion, and you're barely over 1 move speed faster than a Reaper. Look at what it is on creep. Plus 2 on top of what you already have. You are going to fucking run down Reapers and Hellions so damn fast on creep. The difference of the move speed now, of how much a move speed is for a Zergling to a the Zergling is to a Reaper and the Zergling is to a Hellion, would be something as similar to like the difference of a move speed of a Zergling to a slow Zealot would be like, think about that. Think about a Speedling off creep trying to surround a Zealot that doesn't have charge yet. That would be about how easy it would be to surround a Reaper on creep. And think about a Zergling trying to surround like a Stalker off creep. That would be about how easy it would be to surround a Hellion. Like, you would be fucking running so much faster than them. It'd be insane. And like, you know, you just run past them, block the exit, and you just let your Zerglings go to town, essentially. So creep is 100% your biggest weakness here as a team, and no queens. You guys are both kind of doing the exact same build, which is actually being countered by mostly by purple, but teal is supporting. So rough start for you guys. Like, for instance, look how much units have died so far. 2 Reapers and 2 Hellions have died. And the trade-off is you guys have lost together 39 Zerglings. Actually, 38 Zerglings and 1 Queen. Or no, you lost some drones too. So you probably lost, I don't know, fucking like 4 drones, a Queen, and like 34 Zerglings or some shit. Whatever. You get the point. It's a lot of stuff has died. And now you're hesitating to engage because you should be, because these units are going to beat the crap out of you. If you engage again, all you're going to do is throw away another round of Lings. So you killed a couple units right there. This round was decent. You killed 1 more Reaper and 2 more Hellions, and you just like doubled your Ling loss count. So you guys are definitely, and what's happening to you right now is, think about this for a second. The larva you wanted to get out of the inject is so much worse than the larva you would have missed by throwing a creep tumor down and then not having to make Lings like this. You could be making drones and queens against this. And you could still have some Lings, but you wouldn't have to make like 60 Lings, which is what you've already made potentially by now, because you have 32 are already dead and you have 26 already out. So you've made 58 Lings plus 6 more in production. You made 64 Lings right now at the first 4.5 minutes of this game for just one of you. And now Champagne's the more active player in this game so far, so he's definitely lost more. But now let's look at Zogger. Zogger has lost 19 Lings, or maybe a drone was in there too, or whatever. But we'll just say 18, okay? Because this is an odd number. So he's lost 18 already. He has 6 more in production, so that's 24 plus 20 more already out. So you've got 44 and 64, I believe was what it was. That's over 100 fucking Lings between the two of you in the first 4.5 minutes. That's so much larva being blown on Ling defense against this. And what's the trade-off of what you guys have accomplished for that? You've killed 700 resources worth of units so far. You've killed 3 units and 4 units. You guys are falling into this like pit of inefficiency like crazy right now. Your overlords have no threat. You guys need to definitely be using your overlords more here so you can actually see where the hell they are. And see, like right there? Right there. You guys have to synergize, and one of you fucked it up. So if we go back, you have to go exact like Oreo sandwich here on the cream cheese, cream filling. And Zogger goes, or sorry, Champagne goes around the side to try and get a one half of the Oreo here. Zogger sets up the other side of the Oreo, and you guys are trying to get a Terran filling here. And Zogger, I'm not gonna lie, man, you fucked that up a little bit. I'm sorry to say, but what Zogger needed to do right now, and this is hard, by the way. It's not like, oh, it's easy, do this every game. So I was saying, like, this is a hard thing to do, but this is the only way this is gonna work. Is if Zogger tells some of his Lings, like you could tell all your Lings to go right here, and then green box like half of them and tell them to go like right here. And then as soon as the turn shifts left, you shift left. So right now going here would be fine for a second, but watch the Hellion movement. The second the Hellions do that, immediately you go left deeper. Take all your Lings, and you need to not be attacking towards him. You need to be going this way right now. Right now, you need to be going left, because you need to go where he wants to go. If you don't go where he wants to go, what's going to happen is you're going to go to the right and then south of him, and then you're going to give him an opening to go this way while you guys chase him, which is what happens right there. So now it's fucked, because now you guys are both chasing him on one side of him, and there's nothing blocking them from the other side. And now this is awful for you, because this is Fire City right here you're dealing with. This is Hellions getting tucked into a choke point between the wall and the bunker. The bunker is super tanky, and these Hellions are going to go to fucking town on killing your Lings. And now let's look at the trade-offs again. Production-wise, 18 more lings coming, 10 more lings coming. I'm glad that you're starting to make drones, but you guys don't use queens. You guys need to use queens here. This is the worst defense you could ever have. Because look at the units lost now again. You guys together now have, in the loss department only, this isn't even including what you've made and what you have. But in losses only, you guys have lost a combined 109 lings so far. 109 units. We'll just say they're lings, even though a couple drones are in there and a queen's in there. One queen is in there, and like 4 drones are in there. Who cares? 100 plus lings have died. That's just died now. I know I said 100 plus lings have been overall made throughout the game, but now you have another 28 lings in production, and you have another 16 lings out. So what is 16 plus 28? That's 44. So you guys have made upwards of almost 150 lings this game together. Now. It's a lot. That's a fucking lot, dude. That is a lot of lings. So much larva. That's 75 larva invested into making lings. They're still going on lings too. You guys are playing in the paranoid aspect of the game. If you had queens, creep, or roaches, or all of those things, this would be the easiest defense of your life. And once again, you guys are engaging by, like, one person's engaging first and the other one's doing something else. Perfect synergy has to happen here with this. It's just not going for you. This is a moment where I would say, Vibe, you're saying the same thing over and over and over. Talk about the rest of the game. Who cares? Guys, you gotta realize, this game is already fucked for Zerg here. This is versus a Terran player, or Terran players, because there's 2 of them, that are competent at macroing while attacking you. You'll never win playing like this. You'll never win. This is like guaranteed lose territory for Zerg here. This is so wasteful for Zerg. The rest of the game should be a nightmare for Zerg now. And the lings are still being made.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot.
Vibu happy.
Yo, SCV, what up? Thank you very much for the 7. I appreciate that very much. Oh my god. Welcome back for the super duper sub. How you doing today? Thank you. Hope you're having a fantastic day. And that's not bullshit. That's genuine. Hope your day's going good. Vibe, I just beat Mech with Stormhost. Thank you. Nice, dude. Congrats. That's awesome. Happy to hear that. Well done, dude. How you doing, Vibe? Doing good. How you doing, Chapo? Alright, now this is the worst time. Zogger, what the fuck? This is the worst time to go Banelings. You don't want to go Banes right now. You guys lost control of the fight, and also you guys don't want to go Banes against Reapers and Hellions. You want to know why? The only way Banes connect is if you can hold them in place. And you guys aren't ever holding them in place. They're constantly kiting you. So this is just throwing resources in the toilet, essentially, and just flushing it down the toilet. They're never going to connect. They're slow Banes. I'm just going to go ahead and leave this replay right now. I'm just joking. Okay, well, he's like AFK there for a second. Shouldn't have happened, but it is what it is. There's only one Baneling anyways. Okay, now, okay, so Champagne has roaches now, so this is a lot better for you. The roaches are going to help a lot. It'll definitely make it a little bit more manageable. But now if you guys get aggressive like this, like Zogger, you're getting a little too trigger happy on that Zergling button. Look at these resources. 14, 12, 0. Production. 4 overlords. Your supply blocked at the moment. Not a great economy. You guys, I'm telling you right now, if you guys get in the habit of making more queens, you're going to be like, oh my god, it feels so good to have money. It feels so good to be wealthy in StarCraft right now. You're putting yourself in a position where if they defend, you die. And it's not a hard defense either. Like, this is not the most difficult defense that Terra needs to make here. Because they already, you want to know why? They're already making units that would defend this. Like, it's already happening. If these Hellions are back at the base, this doesn't do a single thing. Now, obviously, if the Hellions aren't there and you guys catch a tank in a bunker, you will kill that. Which would be decent. That's a nice little pick off there. But it's still, even if you killed that, you'll never break in. Oh, okay, they don't have it walled. Okay, these guys are nuts. 2 Terrans going up against 2 Zergs, and neither one of them felt the urge to make a fucking wall. Do you like speedling counterattacks? No. Me neither. Yeah, who needs a wall, though? Okay, I mean, who knows? It might actually do a little bit. Okay, that was over micro. Zogger, let me teach you how to micro that. You had it correct, and then you lost it. So what you should do here is not A-move this. What you should actually do is you should move command past the tank and then A-move the ground once you're past the tank. What that'll do is it'll make your lings not be stupid and run into each other's butts repeatedly and do circles. It's not going to be like 2 dogs meeting for the first time. And they'll actually make distance on the tank quickly. And they'll get a nice surface area over all of what's here really fast. If you then A-move the ground, you'll do maximum damage to the tank while doing maximum damage to the bunker, and you'll get rid of everything really fast. But what you did here was you just right-click the tank. So it's good to move past the bunker, but you want to make sure you're also going to hit the bunker as well. Because you ignored the bunker, so you're actually losing so many lings, because watch the uptime of your DPS here. Look at this. You move past, and then you hit the tank. Now look at all these lings that are not the initial like 7 lings surrounding the tank. Just look at all the lings besides the first like 7 or 8 surrounding the tank. What are they doing? They're running around in circles doing nothing. And the amount of time it took you to kill that tank, you could have also killed the bunker. Or like almost killed the bunker. This bunker could have been like at 100 HP right now, or like 50 by this point. Because the bunker has a bigger hitbox than a tank does, so more lings can hit it, which means it dies faster even though it has more HP. So every ling that dies now is a ling that didn't need to die otherwise. So if you look at it, that's 1 ling, 2 lings died just now. 3 lings just died. And, the bunker still stands on top of that. Could have killed it. Anyways, moving on. You guys are lucky because the Terran players are so lazy. I'm dead. What Terran player doesn't wall against Zerg? Neither one of them felt the need. It's like, nah. I'll put my depots next to my main base. Nah, I'll put them behind my mineral line. I'm too lazy to go put them at the door. Neither one thought it would be a good idea. So you guys are... This should not have worked. The only reason why it is working is because they decided to move the Hellions in the middle of nowhere. And they didn't fucking wall their base. So it actually is working now. Now the proper way to micro this would be this, okay? This is how you micro this. Calculate how many lings you have. Become the Terminator with the infrared sight where you're going to have all these numbers in your eyes. And you're going to be able to get everything perfect. No, for real. Okay, listen. 1 SCV loses to 1 Zergling. Okay? 2 SCVs beat a Zergling. So the concept there is if there are more SCVs than Zerglings, you might get a trade a little bit here and there, but you're probably going to die. Like, your lings are going to die. You're not going to kill everything. So I would say if you have 3 bases to counterattack right now, and you only are working with like 30 lings, roughly, or like 32 lings, you probably don't want to divide that into thirds, because if you send 11 lings at 22 SCVs worth of mining going on at every base, you're only going to kill some SCVs, and it's not going to be great. You're probably going to kill like 6 SCVs or 7 SCVs per base. Not the greatest, but if you take your lings and divide them by 2, and maybe it's not perfect, maybe you have 18 go to one base and 14 go to the other, or 16 and 16 or something like that, you're going to kill more, quite a bit more, because you're almost equalizing 1-to-1, and lings beat SCVs 1-to-1. So I would say the best way to micro this would be, if I were you, I would see that bunker there and that tank there, and I would go, all right, right click all my lings right there in this mineral line. In your vision, you can't see the SCVs right now. I would just right click right there with all of my lings. I would then green box a chunk of them just like that, and right click right there. And then I would forget about it. Forget about it. Just let it happen. You're going to kill a lot of SCVs if you do that. So we'll see what you do. You better not right click that tank again. Ouch. So you're wasting DPS again, just like last time. You're right-clicking a tank that has minimal surface area. It can only have like 5 lings attacking it at once, or 4 lings attacking it at once. And you're also doing it in an area that is super bottlenecked. And in 2 shots of a tank, he killed 12 lings. He just killed a third of your push there, because you were super tightly bunched up between the bunker and the command center. So not great. You're basically now gonna lose like 30 plus lings to kill a siege tank, because by the time the tank dies, most of your lings are gonna be dead as well. There's something on my pillow. Whatever. Fuck it. There's something touching my foot. I don't like it. It's annoying. It's like a pokey thingy. I'll deal with it later. It's like having a rock in your shoe or something. Even though I'm not wearing shoes right now. It's the foot box situations, guys. Okay, sorry. I'm a little off topic here. But yeah, anyways. Not ideal. Your lings are definitely missing the beat on how much damage they could have done. And now they're going for... some of the SCVs are dying. You're 100% missing. Okay. You're over microing like crazy right now. You're wasting so much time. Killing the bunker would not be a great idea. But there was actually a moment where the Terran player compromised himself a little bit. Right here. Right here. His SCVs were still an attack move. So he's losing SCVs. He's starting to lose like two SCVs died right there. Just 2. Now, when you moved your lings towards the SCVs, I was like, hell yeah. Fuck yeah, Zogger. Get him, Zogger. Like right here though, you should be like getting, like right clicking like right here and A moving again. Like get on his SCVs again. Smack some SCVs. Try to kill some. You're obviously not going to kill a ton of them because he's got medevacs in this area, and you also lost a bunch of lings already. And there's also a bunker nearby, which is going to aggro your lings. Look at this base. Completely exposed. Look at this base. Completely exposed. That's why remember what I said? When you saw that, as soon as you saw the bunker there, you should have been like, all right, get the fuck out of here. Go over there and go over here. But, getting rid of as many SCVs as you can would be the great idea here for you. But if you go into his base like this and you start making Banes, you're wasting so much time. And now, finally, the Terran player shows up with all of his Hellions. The other guy that should have been here in the first place. And then this does nothing now. So missed opportunity like crazy there for you. Big missed opportunity. And now you're making drones. So at 8 minutes in the game, I'm also considering the fact that you just made a bunch of drones, right? You just made 14 drones because they all are rallied to this base. You just made 14 drones. So a second ago you had 37. Or, sorry, 35. Jesus. Can't do math. Your teammate Champagne has 36. You now have 49. The Terrans have 39 and 30. Nobody in this game is macroing very well. Nobody is. The Terran players, their problem is they tunnel vision their attack too hard and they don't really make stuff behind their attack. They're just way too busy trying to do damage and not busy enough trying to create more. They're spending too much time trying to destroy and not enough time trying to create, essentially. And then you and Champagne on the other end, you guys spent way too much time just spinning your larva on units like Lings all day. You guys made way too many Lings, as we talked about already. And now you guys are all so far behind where you could be. 8 minutes with this kind of economy is really, really, really low. Super low economy.
Field depleted.
And now, like, for instance, Champagne did a roach attack after your Ling attack. And he just made like 25 roaches or something. He's got 19 roaches right now. Now making some ravages out of them. And they did nothing. They're just sitting here. This is way too many roaches. You guys need to use queens. I'm telling you right now, if you guys both just use queens here and made 20 supply or less in total for the first 3 bases you make of units, don't remake it repeatedly. Just make it once. 20 supply or less. Like 40 Lings max. 10 roaches max. That's not even necessarily needed. You could make like 20 supply of units, which would be like, or 10 supply of units, which would be like 5 roaches or 20 Lings. Like, you could definitely get away with a lot of shit here if you guys just made queens. And you guys haven't made a single creep tumor this entire game. Between the two of you by almost 8.5 minutes now. This is really bad setup for Zerg here. And now you're both going roaches. I don't like the fact that you guys are not synergizing it all together in this game. You guys are doing redundancy builds here, and you want to know the problem of your build right now? If you guys fight against a bio player, you could probably do a pretty decent job at the moment, because if you can limit their economy, which you can see that is limited, because you guys both have 3 bases each, and they don't even have the front bases right now. Only one of them has the natural back. So you guys have more bases, which means roaches could beat bio in that situation, because you have more overall stuff. But if you guys go up against mech, you guys are both countering yourself again. It's the same thing what happened earlier, where you guys both went Lings against Blue Foam Hellions. Now if you guys both go roaches against tanks, you're going to have a bad day again. So some alternatives would be like, one of you guys could go Spire. One of you guys could go for back to Ling Bane at this point. Something else. Looks like a cozy sweater vibe. Is it cashmere? No, it's just normal fabric. It's just got a design to it. It's not cashmere. I wish I was that rich. Maybe if you T3 sub me, maybe it'll be cashmere next time. Okay, yo. Champagne, this is for you. Lesson time for Champagne, and this applies to everybody out there. But Champagne just did a mistake that so many people in StarCraft do. So many people in StarCraft 2 make this mistake. Let me show you what it is. It's air unit pathing. Right here. So this Liberator that just sieged right there. You see it right there? You see this Liberator right here? That, whoops. That Liberator right there. That guy right there. See that guy? The Marines are kind of behind him, so it's kind of hard to see him right there sometimes, but yeah. That Liberator right there. If you guys cast a Corrosive Bile, and if you say, hey, Ravager, Corrosive Bile, and you click right here, you want to know something? It's going to miss. You can be bullseye right in the middle of that fucking Liberator, and you'll miss the Liberator every single time. And you want to know why? Let me tell you why. People don't think about this, but this is actually real. This is a reality. StarCraft 2 is a game where there is a board. It's a flat board, flat Earth. This is flat Earth StarCraft, okay? And your camera is in the sky. You're an eye in the sky right here. That's you. That's player. That's player 1 here, okay? The caps lock is backwards, but whatever. Player 1 is in the sky. Now, do you know how player 1 looks at the game, the board game, or the board of what StarCraft is? It is not like this. I'll make a red line for that because it's incorrect. It is not like that, guys. It actually is like this. It's like a 45-degree angle. So do you know what that means? If you're looking at a Liberator at a 45-degree angle that says it's right there, it actually isn't right there. It's actually like right here instead. Because of, or rather, it'd be like right here or some shit, right? Be like behind it. Okay, I'm gonna just delete that because I feel like the concept of what I'm trying to explain there is gonna get really confusing. Just look at this, okay? Just look at this. That's how the game works. You're looking at it from an angle, not from a top down. There is a way you can measure that in StarCraft 2, okay? This is why I just said fuck what I was going to explain. I'll explain this instead because it's what I'm going to explain anyways, and it makes it easier to understand. If you'll notice, look at every air unit in the game. And do you notice how every single air unit has a line that comes down from it that leads to a circle on the ground? Like, look at the medevac. Look at the line right there. There's a line right there that leads to a circle. Look at this Liberator. There's a line that comes down, leads to a circle. Look at this medevac. Line. You can't see the circles because they're currently on the edge of that wall right there. This one's on the behind it, but if I turn my camera angle, oops, this way, you can see it now. And if I turn this camera angle, you can see it now. Why can't I see it straight up all the time? Because it's an angle view. It's not a top-down. If it was a top-down, you wouldn't even see these lines because it would be directly under the medevac. So you cannot cast directly on the unit. You cast at the circle where the unit is, and you actually hit the air unit. This applies to everything in the game. There's so many times when I watch Protoss players play against like Zerg players, and they're storming the actual mutas and not the circles on the ground. Or a Zerg player is trying to fungal growth Phoenix, and the Phoenix are like somewhat stacked up, and they fungal way higher than the Liberator, or than the Phoenix actually is, because they're not doing the circles on the ground. You could cast a Corrosive Bile right there on the edge of that circle and hit the Liberator right now. It's not even fucking close to it, right? You're like, Vibe, that's like 2 full centimeters off the Liberator right there. How the fuck is that going to hit the Liberator? Because it's not a top-down. Also, when you cast Corrosive Bile, Corrosive Biles don't come down. Like, so now if you have a Ravager casting a Corrosive Bile, like this is a Ravager right here, and he casts Corrosive Bile, he doesn't cast like this. He casts like this. Like the Corrosive Bile goes literally up straight into the sky. It goes wherever you told it to go, and it comes straight down. Okay? So if I cast a Corrosive Bile that's like gonna go, it's like I'm trying to hit a Liberator with it. It'd be like saying this with my Ravager. It'd be like saying the Corrosive Bile is gonna go like this. It's gonna like arc through the Liberator, if that makes sense. And it doesn't. It has to go straight down into it. So you have to cast a Bile that's gonna be straight above it to go through it. And it also, just keep in mind too, there's no physics in this game that actually say when a Bile actually passes through a Liberator, the Liberator takes damage. It only takes damage when the Bile hits the ground and then hits the fucking the unit placement on the ground, and then it does damage to Liberator. So now if we watch, do you see how he's, so right now I can already tell you, see how this is not a super missed Bile, I would say. If I had to guess, I would say the camera angle of Champagne's probably over here. He's probably over here right now with his camera, and he's trying to cast into the Liberator. Would be my guess. Like he probably had something. He was looking at tanks or some shit, and he was like, maybe he was Corrosive Biling this tank as well, and he cast Corrosive Bile over here on the Liberator, and it's never gonna fucking hit because it might look like it's gonna hit, but watch, And the Liberator is yellow health, 120. It won't take any damage here as the biles come down right now. And boom, boom, boom. All fucking missed. You gotta cast it, again, on the circle underneath the unit. See now that one? Right there? That is close. See how the big ass bile is like touching the circle? That bile is not cast on that Liberator. Maybe Champagne does know this. Maybe he just panicked or some shit. The fact that he cast the bile south of the Liberator makes me feel like he actually understands now. Because he's actually... That Liberator is going to take damage at that time. This Liberator will die because this is overlapping the placement of the unit a little bit. It's almost going to miss, though, because it's way too fucking north. That bile shot is too far up. There's a little bit of overlap right there on the top side of the circle, but the bile should... This here should be down to, like, right there. That would be perfect. As you can see, it will die, though, because there is a tiny bit of overlap, so the AoE will hit it. So it dies. Alright. Now, again, you guys are just... So, moving on from that now. You guys are kind of falling into the same problem we just talked about earlier, which is you guys are both going Roach Ravager now against not only tanks, but also Liberators. Bad day for both of you. You guys are countering... You guys are trying... Once again, trying to beat a fucking rock with 2 pairs of scissors. Not ideal. I love the Changeling attempt. Good job. It's upgrade from last time. I know you guys weren't ever scouting before. These Terrans are giving you opportunity as well, though. Like, why the hell would this guy unsiege? It makes no sense. I mean, again, this is a replay analysis for you guys, not for these guys, but I'm going to tell you right now, you shouldn't win fights like this. Just like you shouldn't get run-bys like that. These Terran players are making a lot of mistakes as well. This makes no sense to... Like, these guys are not synergizing. Let me tell you why. Purple used Hellions to attack the mineral line. That, in my opinion, is totally fine. Because the Hellions, if they turn into Hellbats, would buy a little bit of the time for the tanks to do some damage. I would actually not be opposed to Purple only sending maybe like 3 Hellions to this base instead of all of them. And leaving like the other like 5 or 6 over here as Hellbats to just buy more times for more tanks to shoot shots off. That'd be... And also the Liberators to shoot more shots off. That'd be nice. Because if you guys get attacked right here, what are you going to do? You're going to attack the Terran. You're going to be like, oh, let's save our base. Chances are you guys are going to push into the Terran if they push your base here. So the best possible setup here for them is going to give them the biggest advantage that they could ever have. However, Purple sends all of his Hellions, which is a little excessive. He's still going to do good damage to the mineral line over here, but now he overcompromises the tanks and the rest of the shit over here, which is going to potentially let this area just fall apart. They're no longer fortifying it. It's just going to be a wet noodle. Now, Teal had Liberators over here that were also fortifying the area, and he decides to unsiege them and fly around the base now to try and hit a mineral line. And this is awful because this is so manageable with a queen and a spore, or 2 queens or whatever, and it will do nothing. And now there's all the tanks that they made over here are all dead because of this, and they're not going to kill nearly as many Roaches and Ravagers as they could have, which is now going to allow you guys to break out of the contain and expand more. Doesn't make any sense. These guys, they're just you know, doing whatever they want, obviously. But yeah, you should not win fights like this with going both Roach Ravager and the setup that has happened so far this game. Okay, you're noticing. What are you noticing with? Swarm hosts. Not bad. I like it. Way better than Roach Ravager. The only problem with that though is you got to be really careful about how you pick your battles and why. And let me tell you why. Swarmhost really good against mech. Swarmhost really bad against bio. If you throw Swarmhost at the bio guy repeatedly, or in the bio area, wherever the bio is, you're gonna watch your Swarmhost do nothing. They're gonna just fly in, and all the locusts are gonna die as they try to like land, because Marines destroy locusts like really badly. They don't even get to engage really. Marines kill them so fast. But tanks and Thors and stuff like that definitely take some damage from locust. So this really depends on you going to the right spot at the right time. Also, I don't know if he was doing this all game. I can tell that Champagne's controlling your army as well right now. It's moving in perfect unison with his army, so I know you guys are sharing units, which is not a bad idea. I think you trying to micromanage a little bit of roaches with his Roach Ravager is kind of a waste of your time. So I think this is a good idea by you guys to do that. Your Locust decision going to this base was fine. I don't mind it. You're like flanking his attack, which is not a bad idea. You're also sniping the command center deliberately, which was a really good move, a really good choice to make. But I would say make sure if you guys are going to do this, make sure at least one or both of you have Overlord speed. Right now you have Overlord speed. You need to have way more vision on the map. You need to have like an Overlord there. Overlord there. Overlord up here. Overlord right there. Overlord over here. Overlord like right there. You need way more Overlords. You have no vision. You have just the one Overseer. Because what did you just do right here? You drew him out of position. He's not going to kill any of your units because you're in the Nidus. But you drew him out of position. And what if there was another Nidus going up like right now, right there? Or what if there was a Nidus going up like right there? Or what if there was a Nidus going up like right there? Right here. And you're about to launch Locust from right here onto this base. You need to be more active with Swarmhost if you're going to use Swarmhost. Also, you need a macro. Zogger, good job in the first 1 minute of the game. But you have 6,000 minerals now. Macro it up, dude. One thing I think you guys should do, honestly, in the future, is Champagne. This is more for you, because Zogger. This isn't all on Zogger. Just know that if this is a tendency Zogger has a lot of the time, if you're ever in a position, Champagne, where you're like 10 minutes into the game, you can honestly just ask Zogger how much money you got right now. And then if Zogger says anything above 3,000, request like half of it. Just request it. Go to your F11. I can't do it because I'm going to replay. But like open up the resource trading thing and just like hold shift or control and roll your mouse wheel up like one time, go. And then it'll be like a ton of money will be being requested. Hit request it. And then Zogger, you just pay the man. Because that's excessive. If you macroed better, you wouldn't have this money. But if you have a strong, if you struggle constantly to macro, just share your money more with your teammate. So what are you actually making right now? Oh, you're making more Swarmhost. I would say as well, if you're going to make Swarmhost, Zogger, just rally your Nidus. Rally your hatcheries into your Nidus. Like, rally points for mineral lines and rally points for units are different things. The drones are in the orange line and the units are in the white line. If you rally pointed all your hatcheries to the Nidus Swarm, you could actually fill it up and use more than 8 Swarmhosts per wave here. Like, you're only using 8 Swarmhosts. You could be using like 20 at this point. Or like 16 or however many you have. Way bigger attacks. Because there's no point to have them doing nothing. Alright, good job. And if that ever happens to you, right there, here's a micro tip again. If you ever have this happen to you where you're like, right now, you're like, oh shit, oh no, I'm getting attacked as I unload. Click the Nidus Worm, hit stop, hit S. Click the Nidus, hit S, and then green box everything and right click on the Nidus. Because you letting everything unload the entire cycle, going... If there was more army here, you would lose every swarm host and be like, it's fucking unloading constantly. Just tell it to stop.
Depleted. Our allies are in combat.
Good job. Okay, so you guys are using the roaches and the ravagers and now the swarm host to a better degree than you were before with the double roach ravager. You guys now are actually distracting them with swarm host and you're pressuring them with roach ravager. This is definitely a much better improvement from what you were doing a few minutes ago. And it also, I would say, an improvement from what you guys have done previously. You guys are actually synergizing a build together. One of you is causing chaos and one of you is causing actual damage. And the swarm host, it's not even like they're doing nothing either. You are actually doing a little bit of damage here and there. It's just I think you could be doing so much more if you actually had Nidus potential in their main. You have no overlords at all over there. But the damage that Champagne's doing is actually massive here. Just killing bases.
Mineral field depleted.
Pairing your armies together doesn't make a lot of sense. It does not make too much sense. I would say the only way this would work for you is if you had your... Like, okay. If you, like, locust this base or something. Or, like, locust the main or something like that. But if you don't... Okay, so here's the problem that I can already see this happening if you don't do this. Just know the first thing you attack, the very first thing you attack when you launch out your locust, that's the first thing, like the first hostile thing within range is going to aggro all your locusts and tell them to land on it. And then no more flying locusts at that point, right? If you don't get rid of these gases before you send out all your locusts, they're all going to launch up and land on the gas. That's exactly what's going to happen right now. They're all going to launch up and land on that fucking gas right there. And then they're going to just... If you tell them to go like up here or up here, they're going to like start walking around super slow and they're going to all expire by the time they get to like right there. They're just going to time out. Yeah. And then yeah, they're all just going to time out before they do anything. Okay. Now you guys have nothing to really deal with the Bio Boy. Great economy damage overall for you guys. You guys have whittled the Terrans all the way back down to only 5 bases. They have this base, and this base. Because you guys have killed every other base and you've scouted every other base up to now. Really good job on controlling the map. But again, you guys have to have something that can actually like win the fight too though, right? And Swarmhost could help here, 100%. Definitely will help. And if there's not enough bio, Swarmhost could definitely win the game here. But how's Champagne's army size looking? It's only at 130. Definitely not enough units for him. So if you guys let this snowball out of control here, you could totally die. I would say a better option for you to go for defensively, Zogger, would be like... I don't want you to micro too much because this is gold for you. But I would say maybe get like... Off your infestation pit, maybe get like fungal growth. And you could even give like Champagne the infestors. Maybe like 8 infestors or like 6 infestors. You can make lurkers. Lurkers would be great. You can make hydras behind this. That would also be fine. Just swarm host, it can work, but if you're just gonna make swarm host, you gotta be way more active than you are. Like your Niduses are always on the outside. Put some on the inside as well. You need to have some overlords over there on the edges of the map to really be annoying. Okay, good job by Champagne to clean that up with medium to low supply. Now I feel like you guys just won the game. That right there, this right here, that you just won the game, because that was the only threat that they had to you. That was the only fucking threat that there was in front of you. And now you're just going to keep pressuring him with Locust, and you're going to slowly whittle down the Terran players, which is definitely a good thing.
Mineral field depleted.
That's another dead base, and you know, lots of dead shit in this base for Terran. Super annoying.
Friendo's base is under attack. Your forces are under attack. Hey, help your friends. The mineral, our allies' base is under attack.
Got a lot of money. And this time, this is the first time I'm going to tell you your macro being this much money isn't the worst necessarily because of the money, because you're not losing your units anymore. You're just making Swarmos go in there and repeatedly shit Locust all over the base. Those are free. So your money being super high is actually a bit more acceptable now for that reason. But you still got to share it with your teammate though. Like make it used for something. You might as well utilize, because you're a team, right? So you might as well utilize it in some way. Or make some transition unit out of the Swarm host instead of just doing nothing with it. Also, you guys need to spread some fucking creep, dude.
Our forces are under attack.
You guys' creep spread is non-existent, really. 16 minutes in the game, and you guys have managed to spread a total of like 1 tumor this whole time. Together. That's only you, by the way. Champagne hasn't done a single creep tumor this whole game. Champagne, come on. Spread that creep. It's important. And then think about it for a second, okay? Think about this for a second. What compositions are you guys dealing with? What are you guys dealing with? So far, if I was in this game, I mean, I haven't watched all your guys' engagements exactly, I guess. But what I've seen lately, this is what I saw. Tank, Liberator, lots of Bio, Medivacs, Widow Mines. That's, I feel like, what the overall composition is. It's like Mech with Widow Mines and Bio with Liberator. So, Swarmhost are a great option here. They're definitely not bad. Another option I would say is get something to deal with the Liberators better than Ravagers, because Ravagers have to run in Liberator range to shoot them, especially if they get the range upgrade. And they also have to run in tank range to shoot them. Not ideal. So, that's probably not the best choice to go for dealing with Liberator. I'd say maybe go for like Hydra, but even then that's kind of same problem as Ravagers. Maybe go for like Corruptor or Muta or something on the Spire would be a nice addition. Another thing you could do is you could actually go into like Viper Hydra, and you could actually pull the Liberators to you and then get rid of them that way and have the Locust like break into the base for you. That's another way you could deal with it. And then you got to worry about what else do they have? They have Marines. So you could add in Lurker or Infestor. Something with AoE would be nice. And you guys, neither one of you have melee upgrades right now. So Lurker would be a great choice over Baneling, I would say. Because Banelings also have to run into a bunch of tanks. Whereas Lurkers can just like guard your Swarm host. And you could break the tanks down with Swarm host. So much more you could be doing with composition. This is the first time I ever went Swarmos, so definitely the creep spread was scuffed. I mean, you're doing alright. There's obviously more you guys could be doing overall, but yeah. You guys are doing alright. I mean, you're winning the game, for sure. It's just I'm telling you guys the things that I feel like you could be doing better. Going Roach Ravager against Turtle Terrans with tanks is not the smartest idea. Like if you had like Hydra, Lurker, Viper for Champagne, this would destroy. Or if he just made a round of Corruptor, and then you could even make Broodlord. Just like 12 Corruptors and like 12 Broodlords. And then the Swarmos could just counterattack the bases while the Corruptor Broodlord could just push the front, whether it's just Marines and tanks. And Liberators. You guys have the money to do it easily. Between just Zogger, he's got 15,000 resources just sitting in the bank. And then how much does Champagne have? Champagne's got almost none. But Champagne also... Or Zogger's taking all the bases. You gotta mind those bases, Zogger. Mind those gas. Fix your economy, Zogger.
Allies are in combat.
Zogger, your economy looks like shit. Also, Zogger, you're like I said before, this is really important. If you're gonna Stormhost Nidus somebody, you really need to put fucking Niduses in their base with Overlords.
Hello, Vibu.
Yo, what up, Reluxio? Thank you, dude. Because think about this for a second. You're always doing it outside the base, and by the time your locusts get to the location they want to attack, right now, you've already lost 2/3 of your duration. So you'll kill a building for sure. You're gonna kill that command center. You might kill like 5 SCVs or something like that, and then your locusts are all dead. What? What's up? What's up? What's up, Mila? Mies is biting my hand and wants to play. Mila, you're like the portrait in the StarCraft game right now. It's perfectly lined up. You're like a Zergling.
Our forces are under attack.
It's funny. Hey, baby. Mila, don't bite me so hard. Relax. I'm trying to entertain. I'm trying to teach people how to play StarCraft.
Forces are under attack.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, you guys broke him pretty hard with your locust. Overall. Could be doing more. See, like, right there. Right there. That's a perfect example. Go back to look at that one. You launch locust, and they have to go across the fucking world to start attacking you. Or to start attacking them, sorry. You're flying, 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 and you're like, target acquired. Factories. And then... didn't even kill a factory. Because you wasted so much of that travel time on the locust uptime. Imagine, again, if there was a Overlord right there, and you put a Nidus right there, and now suddenly you send all those locusts from right there into his base, and they just lift, land, and they just kill everything in the vicinity. You would kill, like, this entire block of buildings if you did that from in his base. Zogger, you have way too much money. Share that shit. What? Hey. What? Milas. I love you. I love you. I love you. Gotta be like a husky and tell me it back. Ow, Mila, stop, stop, stop. She's biting my leg. She's like, fuck you. Mila, stop. Give me a toy. Go get a toy. Bring a toy back. So you don't have to bite me all the time. Fuck. Mila, don't, no, stop, stop, stop. Don't bite this. This is Cashmere. Hey, hey. Stop the hoodie. You can bite me because I can heal. You can't bite my hoodie. I can't sew it together again. Alright. You guys are kind of letting them regroup a little bit. The reason why you guys are having a problem right now is because Champagne has just been kicked in the nuts repeatedly. Mila. Champagne's been kicked in the kicked in the nuts a lot throughout this game. And you have so much money. You took all the bases and all the money, and you didn't use it, Zogger. And your Locust didn't do enough because they could have done a lot more. I'm actually surprised you guys lost this game. Also, Champagne, get the fuck off Roach Ravagers, dude. It's not a permanent army. Make some like literally, if you would have went like Hydra Lurker Viper, something more standalone that can support itself against like this kind of an army, way better chance at breaking them. Or like Broodlord Corruptor or something else besides Roach Ravager. Roach Ravager does not scale the best. It actually has problems once the other guy gets a lot of supply. Especially when it has a lot of tanks in it. And libs. Like, that's not good for a Roach Ravager. Especially the tank part. And how many tanks do they have together right now? This is after the fact. They have 10 tanks. 10 tanks. You want to know? You want to know the value of what 10 tanks are worth, guys? That's not even incorporating the fact that like the more time they have to shoot, the more value they get because of bio in front of them. But 10 tanks, I would say, are probably equal value to like 50 roaches. It's fucking insane. It's actually nuts. And it's not even just 10 tanks. It's libs. It's 45 marines. It's a bunch of medevacs. It's 21 hellbats, potentially. That's a lot of shit to deal with a Roach Ravager. And then Locust, again, gets shredded by bio, like I said before. Once there gets to be like 50-ish marines, 60 marines, 70 marines, Locusts fly in and die before they do anything. So they, yeah. You guys need AoE right now. You guys need some type of AoE and some type of zone mechanic, like a Lurker and a Viper. Or a Broodlord. A Broodlord would also work because you want to know why a Broodlord would work? It has a zone mechanic, but you're like, Vibe, it doesn't have AoE though. Well, you know what? It does. You want to know why? Broodlings get on top of Marines, and Broodlings get shot by siege tanks. And that creates AoE. It creates AoE. Mila. You're crazy. Yeah, you guys just needed to, are Broodlords good for 2v2? They're good at containing people. What, okay, think about it like this. There was one point in this game where these guys were starving. What beats Broodlords? Ghost? Corruptor? Or, sorry, Ghost, Viking, or, Thor, I would say, on average. That's what you're going to most likely run into. One of those units. And then, how does a Locust do versus the Thor? Fucking destroys it. How does a Locust do versus a Viking? It doesn't do anything. How does a Locust do versus a Ghost? Probably okay if there's detection there, in case the Ghosts have Cloak. So, and then what are the choices that they have? If they go Ghost, the Bio Terran is going Bio plus tank. He's going like split, like medevacs with Bio with tanks and shit. So if he went Ghost, he's not going to have many. If he went Vikings, he's not going to have many. He's going to have like 8 Vikings or like 3 or 4 Ghosts. He's starving. He's got no money. You guys literally starved them out for a while. If the mech player goes Thor, he'll have a lot of Thor. He'll probably have like 8 Thor, 9 Thor, because he's got mostly mech as his composition. No air units, no bio units. But he can't make Vikings and he can't make Ghosts. Like, you don't have to think about it that hard. Just know that Roach Ravager is a temporary army. And you shouldn't expect to stay on it all game. It's an army that, like, scales poorly. It does great early on, but it starts falling off a cliff when your opponent gets a lot of units that counter it. And a lot of them. Like, a lot of supply of that. Like, if you're fighting 3 tanks with Roach Ravager, sure, you can make it work. If you're fighting 13 tanks with Roach Ravager, you're probably going to start having more of a problem. It's a little scary for you now. That's a lot of tanks. Yeah. I hope this makes sense, though, what we talked about. Your guys' style... you guys are wild with your styles. If either one, like, and here's the thing. Let me say this too. Let me just say this because I want to make sure you understand this. StarCraft 2 is not complicated if your build is good early with macro. You could have won the game doing exactly what you did this game and you would have won. You want to know how you could have won this game? The biggest, most important part of this whole fucking game, out of everything I said, if everything went in one ear and out the other, the biggest, most important thing you guys could have changed to win this game is make less Zerglings by a lot, make Queens, and then go into, with a good economy faster, exactly what you did. And you would win the game. 100% chance. Guaranteed. And against these particular 2 players here. If you guys made Queens early, like, let's say Zogger makes like 5 and let's say Champagne makes like 7, whatever. Do whatever you guys like. If you guys had like a group of like 10 Queens together, pushing the creep forward against Hellion Reaper, you could have fully saturated your bases so ridiculously fast. You guys were at like 30 drones at like 8 minutes. 30 to 40 drones at 8 minutes. With Queens instead, you guys could have been at like 70 drones by like 6 minutes. It's a big difference in economy right there. And then you could have, if you would have had that kind of economy and you would have spent your money maxing out, you would have crushed the shit out of them. You guys had this game won as well a few times. You did literally have it won. But the problem was that you guys had was the two-part problem that after that fact of the queen thing that you guys didn't do, the problem you guys had was Zogger, you wasted so much fucking time with Locust doing nothing, and you only had Locust in this game. That was your only contributing factor to this game was the Locust, and you did something like once or twice, and then you did nothing for like 5 minutes at a time, or 4 minutes at a time, because you weren't doing it from within their base, and you kept doing it from outside their base all the way across these big ass open areas, and like the gas thing fucked you, the no factory kill fly in fucked you. Like there was a few moments where you could have like you only killed one command center one time, and then that was another like minute of Locust that's just gone now because all your Locust aggroed to a tank and then expired. You didn't kill any SCVs after the command center. Like you did very mitigatable damage, essentially is what I'm trying to say. It'd be like if your SCV is repairing a bunker and a Zergling's smacking it, it's like, okay, well, although he's doing damage to it, I'm kind of fixing it as he does damage to it. It's not a big deal. That's kind of what your Locusts were like. It was very... A couple times were good, but for the most part, it was very mitigatable damage. It was like, oh, okay, this guy's just kind of wasting time. And then Champagne just never transitioned. And he expected to beat 2 armies of Biomech with just Roach Ravager, and that doesn't exist. Roach Ravager can't even beat one of those armies when it's maxed out. That army sucks late game. It's good early when you oversupply them. It's bad late game when they equal you, when they equalize, because their units are better. Roach Ravager is fucking terrible if your opponent has stabilized. You need to transition from it. Like there was moments in the game where the Roach Ravager doing great early on when he was killing expansions, but then once you guys contained them and you just never got off Roach Ravager and let them get a high supply on you again, that's when you guys threw the game away. Anyways, hope that makes sense. Zogger, thanks for doing another replay analysis. Champagne, hope it helps. Much love, guys. Good luck in your next games. And yeah, everyone who watched this, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Peace, everybody. Take it easy. Have a good night. Bye.